Hey guys, it's Lawrence Thomas here, and today I want to walk you through a problem that so many business owners face. Whether you're just starting out in business or whether you've got a successful business, there's a problem that so many people face, and I'm going to walk you through how to avoid this problem because it's a huge problem that nobody's really talking about. There was a book that was written, I don't know how long ago now, by a guy called Michael E. Gerber. He's in his late 80s now. I had the privilege and the honor of listening to Michael speak live and meeting him afterwards. And he's kind of like a real OG when it comes to being a business guru. And he talks about something that has kind of been forgotten, and it creates a huge problem. And I'm going to walk you through how to solve that problem today. So whether you're just starting out and you want to start your own business, or whether you've got a business and you're struggling to take it to the levels that you want to take it to, this video is for you. It's really going to help. What we have is a real dilemma. And if we look at my screen here, you can see we've got the dilemma between the technician and the entrepreneur. And this is basically the foundations for the book that Michael talks about. And we really have two things. So let's say, for example, you're starting a business and you are, I think in the book, the example is you're a great baker, you make great tasting cupcakes, so you decide to open your own cupcake store. And you soon start to realize that baking cupcakes is only a very small part of making sure that you run a successful business. But most people go into a business with their passion or something that they like, and then they kind of expect the rest to fall into place. And as a business owner, you've got to basically divide yourself in half into two equal sections, the technician and the entrepreneur. So the technician is the person that does the thing, and the entrepreneur is the person that sells the thing. So when we've got the technician here, what we've got is we've got the service basically. And over here, what we've got is we've got the selling. And the problem is that most people they start a business because they love this part of it, but they're not very good at this part of it. And selling is a little bit of a vague term, but you get the gist. Selling, marketing, all the kind of business side of it. And the reason why so many businesses fail is because they cannot be both of these. Their skill sets do not allow them to be both the technician and the entrepreneur. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through how you can solve that problem. And it's a really simple way of solving it, but nobody's talking about it, and it just requires a little bit of thinking differently. So I love particular business models where these two things are the same. They're one and the same, the technician and the entrepreneur. I call this a double whammy. And what I mean by this is when you solve one, you solve the other. So you solve one problem in your business, and by solving that problem, it automatically solves the other. So if we take this person that decides to set up a business selling cupcakes, they've got to get great at selling cupcakes. They've got to get great at marketing, selling, all the other things that come along with it. How do we remove the need for both of those skills? We can only focus on one. And it's not about hiring somebody else. It's not about hiring an agency or doing something different. It's about making sure that your service is exactly the same as your selling, so that we want your service to equal your selling. What I mean by this is, let's say, for example, you sell Facebook advertising services, FB ads, we'll call it. And what you can do is if you get your clients through Facebook ads, then by you growing your business, you're getting better at your service. And so it's a self-fulfilling thing. The better you get at signing clients, the better you get at serving your clients. And it becomes this positive loop. Let's say we are a typical business. Let's use that cupcake scenario as well. So we've got our output here is on we'll just split them into two different sections. We've got service and we've got selling. And we can only make this much progress here because we've got to split our time out equally. There's only so much output we can have in a day. There's only so much calories we can burn in thinking and doing. Let's look, if you start a business and you make sure that your service equals your selling, you can have twice the output as everybody else. So your service is your selling and your selling is your service. So it doesn't really change anything. Let's say everybody starts here and everybody wants to get to this goal. When everybody runs a standard business, they might get like halfway to their goal because what they're doing is they are splitting their time, they are splitting their energy, their focus, their output across both their service and their selling. Whereas you, if you structure it correctly, both are the same, and you're able to, in a very wonky way, you're able to achieve your goal way, way quicker because of that self-fulfilling cycle. And that is one of the main ways that you can grow. And let's look at flywheels. This is Amazon's flywheel. And what a flywheel is it's when something that happens makes the business better as opposed to worse. So you can have a positive flywheel, you can have a negative flywheel. And I'll explain it through Amazon's because everybody will understand this. So Amazon has a great selection of products. And because it has a great selection, the customer experience is great. And because the customer experience is great, the traffic on the store is very high. And because the traffic's very high, there's more sellers. Because more sellers want to get in front of the traffic. And because there's more sellers, there's greater selection. And when there's greater selection, the customer experience gets better, therefore the traffic increases, therefore there gets more sellers. And it goes around in this really self-fulfilling positive flywheel. The more customers they get, the better Amazon becomes, and therefore the more customers they will get. And so you can see Amazon's growth was like a serious hockey stick. It went for like 20 years without making any profit. Don't quote me on that, but something like that. And then all of a sudden it took off, and it's because of this flywheel effect. And if we look at everybody else when it comes to their business, what you've got is very rudimentary flywheel here, but you've basically got marketing, you've got acquisition or sales, and you've got service. And when you do marketing and you get a sale, your service has to happen. But every time that you have to basically indulge into this section here, it makes your marketing worse. And the reason it makes your marketing worse is because it pulls away your time. And therefore, your marketing becomes worse and your acquisition therefore becomes worse. And then the whole thing starts to actually, instead of it being a positive flywheel, it's actually going backwards. So it starts to slow things down. And that's why so many business owners struggle when they're starting out. It's because, and not just when they're starting out, but kind of always, it's because they've created this negative flywheel effect where every time that they sign a client or they grow their business, they get a customer, somebody walks through the front door, the register rings, their business actually gets a little bit worse. And it's because they have to split their time, and they're either the technician or they're the entrepreneur. Very rarely can they be both. And if you set it up properly, every time that you do marketing and you acquire a client, you're actually getting better at what you do. And therefore your service improves. And when your service improves, guess what happens then? You get more clients, your marketing works better, you're able to grow quicker, and by doing all of this, your service gets better, and you become this positive flywheel. And this is how you skip the queue. This is the hack, this is the trick, this is the strategy, whatever you want to call it. This is the thing that allows you to grow a lot quicker than everybody else. It's by doing something where your service and your selling are the same thing. And one thing that I love is what I call a COA. And that stands for Cold Outreach Agency. Let's say you're wanting to start a business. Every single business owner needs clients. So let's say, for example, we do cold outreach in the form of email. And each time that you speak to a client, the fact that you are speaking to somebody, let's draw a person here. Each time you speak to somebody, this person is like living proof. They are proof that what you do works. So just by you doing marketing proves that your service works. That is so, so powerful, and it allows you to kind of skip the queue so, so much. They are living, breathing proof that what you do works. You have got somebody onto a call, you've signed a client, or you've got them interested through the exact same thing that you're going to do for them. And it just makes life so easy. So you can say to a prospect when you're on a call with them or when you're speaking to them, look, what we do works. I know this and you know this. And the reason that you know this is because you're here today. I sent you a cold email and we're now having a conversation. So you are living, breathing proof, Mr. Prospect, that what I do works, because here you are. And all I got to do is do exactly what I know how to do, but for you. So you can do what I'm doing right now, which is speaking to my ideal prospect on a call after sending out a cold email. And I can do all of this for you. So you can be sat where I'm sat. We can switch roles on the call. And doing that not only makes things easier to sell, but it allows you to basically not have to learn two huge skill sets. How to do the service delivery and how to sign clients. They are both the same thing. And it is a self-fulfilling positive flywheel. If you want to start your business, if you want to grow your business, think about how you can start to implement this self-fulfilling positive flywheel by making sure that your service and your selling are one and the same. I call it a double whammy because you do one and you get both. You do one thing, you get two things. And it just makes life a lot easier, because running a business is not easy. We want to make sure that we make our life as easy as humanly possible when it comes to running a business. There's so many things to do. This here is such a kind of rudimentary flywheel diagram. There's obviously 1,000,001 different pieces in there. But if we can take control of the two biggest things, selling and actual execution, so service and selling, and make them just one thing, and you are a master at one of them, which makes you a master at both, then you're going to become a master in business. You're going to be able to sign clients easily. You're going to be able to get them great results. And so it goes on and on and on. So think about how you can do that. Personally, my favorite is a cold outreach agency. That's how I have succeeded in my entrepreneurial journey. It's the business that I run, and I recommend anybody that is wanting to start, it should be the business that you run as well. That's pretty much it from me. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.